Good afternoon to YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Folks, got another one for you today by RGMT watches. Man, every single time I get a watch from them, I just get giddy about it. I mean, it's such a cool company. And you guys know, I mean, their other watches are great too, Nubeo, Ballast watches, but I don't know, something about the RGMT line, it just really speaks to me. You know, they're big, they're robust, they're bold, they're sort of military tactical inspired, pretty awesome. So today I want to share with you here a watch that a color choice that I normally wouldn't choose in a watch. But again, there was something about this particular watch that I had to have. And this is their Fieldmaster. So this is, let me just pop this off here and show you what we're working with. So this is an all tactical black looking watch. Very cool, but what really, I guess, like drew me into this watch was the bright red indices and markings around the bezel. I haven't seen many watches that look like this. They generally will have a combination. They do make this in a couple different color variations. I believe they have an orange, and I think they have, let me just double check what they have on their site today. They have it in a yellow, orange, and black. Of course, that is in the black color. If you go with the silver, they have several different variations. But I just wanted to go with something black. You guys know, every time I talk about a black watch, I mention the same thing. If you're going to get a black watch, for me to personally like it, it has to have something that really makes it kind of stand out. And the red indices, the red numbers on this thing, and the red markings, the red hands, really just make this sucker pop. It's extremely tactical, very cool. Now, the only thing about this watch is I don't think this watch actually has any lume. I haven't tested it at night yet, but if I go to their website and just read about what they say about it on the website, I don't see any mention on lume. It is 10 ATMs of water resistance, 14 millimeter case thickness, more of your standard size watch, right? 46 millimeter case diameter, not too big, not too small. It does have a sapphire lens with anti-reflective coating, 24 millimeter solid stainless steel bracelet. I believe it's 316 stainless steel on all their watches. And this, again, is powered by a Japanese three-hand automatic movement. Just to clarify, I got a comment the other day on RGMT. They're like, oh, Chinese movements, Chinese watches. Listen, you have no way of knowing where their watches are made. I don't even know where their watches are made. A lot of affordable watches are made overseas in China and places like that, but when they have an automatic movement, they're using Japanese automatic movements, and in most cases that I've seen with their watches, they're either done with the NH35 by Seiko, or they're using the Miyotas. Now, I think this one here doesn't have an exhibition back, just standard stainless steel, which I always prefer. And for what I can tell, I'm pretty sure this is a Seiko NH35 or 36. When I listen to the rotor, generally, if you ever listen to the rotor on a Miyota or a lot of other movements out there, the rotor will spin. You could hear it just kind of spinning away against the ball bearings. NH35, the rotor kind of like is jerky, right? And so you generally will hear just kind of like almost ratcheting, winding. It's very slight. Don't come out and be like, oh man, I don't want that. It's gonna be loud. You can barely hear it. I'm just so used to these watches, I kind of know what to listen for. Just having experience with the different movements. But it's awesome. And again, mentioned in every video, but yet I haven't seen the change. They need to, and it's a big deal to update a website, especially with as many pages that they have on all their websites. But they need to list the movement. Japanese automatic three-hand with date is doing themselves an injustice because people really appreciate the Miyota movements. They appreciate the Seiko NH35. As much as I hate saying it, I hate the catchphrases, it's a workhorse movement. That's what it's called amongst everybody in the watch community. The watch snobs, the non-watch snobs. I mean, no matter who you are, no matter what watches you like, everybody can agree that the NH35, you can hate my guts, and everybody will agree that the NH35 is a well-respected, very robust, very reliable, affordable movement. There's no disagreeing on that across everybody in the watch community. So, you know, people would see that on here, and they would feel better about it, and that would eliminate some confusion. Just like the guy the other day who's like, oh, they use Chinese automatic movements. No, they don't. I haven't seen any of their RGMT watches, any of their watches that I've received do not have automatic movements, or do not have Chinese automatic movements. Now, I just want to state, there is nothing wrong with Chinese automatic movements. Remember, we are not living in the dark ages here. We are not living in the early 80s and late 70s where things coming out of China weren't good. Things coming out of China are amazing. They deconstruct they re-engineer, or de-engineer, and they make things just as good as their name brand or more expensive counterparts. So again, that's not, I don't mean to overgeneralize, but things coming out of China are awesome. So don't get it twisted. Don't listen to these knuckleheads who don't know what they're talking about. But for those who trust the name brand NH35 series, NH series movements, they need to list it. They're doing themselves an injustice by not, because people would look at this and say, oh, that's a selling feature. When they see automatic movement on here, they're like, oh, well, I don't know what it is. When they see NH35, they feel more confident. Now, I can't confirm that, of course, because it's not listed on the watch. And of course, you don't have an exhibition window where you can check it out. But my experience on the ones that I've seen from RGMT that do have an exhibition window, and based on the sound of the rotor, and of course being able to look at it, generally they've been the NH series. So again, if you guys know, let me know as well, and I'll continue to try to. I forget to, when I do these videos, I get the watch in the mail. I'm so excited. I do the video, and then I don't really reach out to them and ask them. Sometimes it's after the fact, or they see the video and they're like, hey, just give you a heads up. And I usually put it in the comment section or description, but if you need to know, by all means drop me a comment. So that's about it. 2-year international warranty, again, 10 ATMs of water resistance, a couple different color variations. Again, this is their black version. You have the red, the orange, and the yellow. They need to make the neon green. The neon green to be sick in this, and I suspect they probably have made it. Maybe it's just not available, or they're going to make it. That would be a killer color. When we think of green, we think of night vision, we think tactical. We do think that with red as well, but for a watch like this, that should be a no-brainer to have. Like when we think about a helicopter flying at night, some kind of tactical team, we know that green night vision, that starlight night vision. We want to see green and red. Just picture like, again, the inside of a tank or the inside of like a helicopter. You have that red night-saving light. That's why this one just really drew me in. It's a very unique looking watch. Dual push button deployment clasp on these. Pretty standard clasp on all the RGMT watches with that foldable lock. Friction pins holding everything together. Screw down case crown. What I really like and what I really appreciate about RGMT, and this doesn't really apply to this watch, but some of the other RGMTs that they sent me, you'll see a review on another one coming up in the next couple of weeks. It does have kind of a world time. It does have an inner rotating bezel, I believe it's called. And a lot of times with watches that have a lot of functions, they'll put a screw down crown, but then, or not a lot of companies will put a screw down crown, but then they put a push pull function pusher or function dial or knob, right? The problem with that is if you're going to try to get a certain level of water resistance and you're putting a screw down crown on there, you're ultimately not getting that water resistance just because of the screw down crown. If you have an 10, let's just say you have a 10 ATM water resistance and you have a screw down crown and a function pusher that's non-screw down, you don't need to really add a screw down crown. It's pointless at that moment, because the function pusher needs to be able to withstand 10 ATMs of water resistance. The function pusher or the screw down crown could probably tolerate a lot more. So it's really, I like to see one or the other. If you're going to have push-pull function pushers and crowns, have all push-pull function pusher and crown. If you're going to have a screw-down crown, make sure your other function pushers are screwed down as well. And that's what I like about RGMT. They do that. I haven't seen any watches that have a function pusher that's not screw-down crown if you have a screw-down crown. So, killer looking watch. I absolutely love it. I've been rocking this one today. Very tactical. Absolutely dig this watch. Picture just all black outfit, black leather jacket, and this thing just popping with that red. Very cool looking watch. And again, if you didn't have that, this would just be a black watch. There would be no nothing watch, nothing really to make it pop, but having that red, it's just really awesome. Now, I will state, though, when you look at it on the website, the red is a much brighter red, almost like a glowing bright red. When you get it, it's closer to a brick red. So just kind of keep that in mind. When you do look at this watch, and I will put the link in the description, when you look at the blown-up pictures of the actual watch, not like the studio pictures or like the catalog pictures, when you look at it on those other pictures, that's more realistic. And you'll see the difference. One looks more like I shouldn't say brick red, it's more of just a slightly brickier red, as opposed to the other one. It looks like it's just this illuminating bright Ferrari red, almost looks like it's on fire, whereas the real color of this watch is more of like a subdued, more of a matte red, but still very cool, awesome watch. And you guys know I'm not really drawn to like black watches for the most part, you know, unless there's something where they're a little blingy, right? When I went to their website a couple months ago when they reached out and I started looking at the watches, this one immediately drew me in. And I was like, ooh, that is really interesting. So pretty awesome. Really glad they sent it. Let me just get a couple more close-ups before we do the wrist shot here. So you can see what it looks like. It does have a unidirectional rotating bezel as well. You know, nice ratcheting action on it. No back play that I can tell. You know, very similar to any of the other watches I've reviewed on here. Very, very innovative watch. Great looking color combination. And I don't really think that I've seen anything like this by any other manufacturer. So pretty cool. That's really about it. I love it. Let me just show you guys the box as well. This is another great feature on this watch. They didn't do the dive cases, which I've reviewed before, the other RGMT cases, which I like more than the Invictus, because you get that cool dive case that's still functional for like your little electronics if you want to use it for something other than the watch, but it doesn't take up a lot of room, not like the giant Invicta cases. This is a fantastic case. I feel like RGMT really thinks about the cases, and they make them, you know, functional, right? It's not just something you're going to put on your dresser and leave there. Now, if you are looking for something like that, obviously, if you look at something like a display case, RGMT isn't your brand for that. But I like that they have this travel case with this watch. It's small. It doesn't take up a lot of room in my house. And, you know, if I'm going on vacation, I want to bring a few watches. This thing is absolutely awesome. Just put a watch in and protect it. Again, easy to store in the suitcase. You know, this is something I'm definitely going to use to actually transport watches. Now, I'm just going to give you... Ooh, what's in there? A little sneak peek. You'll be seeing that one next. Couple weeks. All right, so you saw the case, you saw the watch. Let's see what it looks like on the wrist. So I'm about 5'7.5". I weigh about 185 pounds, and I have a 7-inch wrist. So again, this is what it looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. 46mm watch. You know, not over the top, but if you are a guy who likes the 42s, it's going to be a big watch for you. But you know, this is a kind of watch this size between the 42 and the 47s. That's what I wear when I'm just kind of dinking around, you know, where I'm not really looking to have anything too large on the wrist. I'm working outside, I'm working at home. You know, a lot of times, if I love the Invictas, I've said it many times, you guys know that I love the big oversized watches, but there's a time and a place for all these different watches. Generally, when I'm just like around the house not doing anything, you know, and I don't mean that this is a around the house watch, right? I wore this out today, you know, but there's sometimes I don't feel like wearing a big watch. So this is a very subdued, very cool looking tactical watch that you can really wear on any occasion. I mean, it is just really, really stunning. So let me know what you guys think. I always appreciate when you guys drop comments and let me know your opinions on these things. Price point on this, again, RGMT, they are working on their pricing structure. I hear it from you guys all the time. I know a couple of my subscribers loves Nubeo watches since you see my videos, and he's like, man, the pricing is all over the place. And that's something that, you know, I really hope RGMT can kind of iron that out, because it's going to put them on a better path in the watch community. Whether you know, I obviously don't give a shit about the watch snobs, right? But, you know, a company looking to sell a watch that makes money should really take that into consideration, that people want to see realistic pricing. Now, that's okay if it's a Rolex. You know, they'll make the excuses for a Rolex at an MSRP of like 15, but they're going for 20. But if it's the opposite, if companies are having an MSRP of one number and then you're getting it a lot cheaper, that kind of rubs people the wrong way. RGMT, you're going to find the pricing quite high on their website. And remember, when I say quite high, I only say quite high because I've seen them for less on Amazon, and I am now linking an affiliate with Ashford. So some of the Nubeo watches, I don't think RGMT is sold by Ashford, but the Nubeo line is. So you'll see those links pop up in my descriptions as well. I have one subscriber, he got a fantastic deal on the Nubeo Pujohanu I reviewed, the very first collaboration I had with Nubeo watches, and you know, he got it for like $200, and on the website you're gonna see it for like $1,200. So again, people, I know I put myself in people's shoes. If I was buying a watch, I fell in love with it and I bought it, and I paid $1,200 for it, and then I saw it go on sale somewhere for $2, that would rub me the wrong way. So just know that RGMT is looking, or Dartmouth Brands is looking to refine their pricing structure and get these prices. Nothing wrong with a watch being $1,200, right? Because every company picks their price point to come in at, right? Based on a certain level of quality and features, right? And markup, right? But you want to be consistent. If something is $1,200, you want to see it for $1,200 everywhere. You don't want to see price fluctuations like that, because then you fall into that Invicta stigma where it's like, oh, well, they're just ripping us off with high MSRP and they're always on sale. And we don't want that for a brand with this kind of quality. This is a great brand. This is a good watch. They need to come at the right price point. But just so you know, $650 is what's listed on their website. I haven't checked this. Let me see if this is actually on Amazon. And as always, with anything that I review, I will link you to where you can get it. RGMT, sorry, can't multitask. Where you can get it for the fair price, right? So let me just see. Now, it's one thing if you could only get this watch through the RGMT website and they're going to charge $650 for it. That's reasonable. But you don't want to see it pop up somewhere for less. And let me just see if they had this. And again, guys, I'm going to link you to where you can see all the RGMT watches from their website, and then of course on their Amazon listing. Seems like there's more popping up. I don't see this watch on Amazon yet. Let me just see if it's anywhere on Google. RGMT Fieldmaster. Let's see if this is showing up anywhere. I mean, you might find a few pop up on eBay, but Watch Gang, I'm not sure how Watch Gang works. Let me see. I do see an Ashford link here. Let me see. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Like this, not this exact watch. They have it in the, it's a different variation. It looks like the same watch. They have one. This is a great deal. I'm going to link you guys to this. This is the standard version. Again, all stainless steel, no black, which I think in this watch, that's what really makes it. It's a stainless steel version, all stainless bezel with the black face with white numbers and hands and markers. 142, which is pretty crazy. So definitely check that out. That's an incredible price for that watch. I mean, I swear I don't know what Ashford is doing, but some of their prices are pretty insane. So again, I will link you to the main website, link you to Amazon if it pops up, and then I'm going to link you to Ashford. Again, you're not going to find this one, but you never know what might pop up. So in time, as the company starts to, I guess, kind of iron out their pricing structure, I will start linking you specifically to their website, but those prices have to start to get in agreement with other websites, you know, or at least explain that a little more. So anyway, guys, RGMT, as always, thank you very much for these watches. I'm having a lot of fun reviewing this stuff and sharing this with my subscribers and the public. Pretty awesome. This brand, you're going to see this brand a lot more. I'm just, again, there's not many brands out there that really impressed me like this, and you know, from their Ohio version, I mean, by the time you watch this video, I don't know if you've seen this yet. This is, I gotta say, so far my favorite RGMT watch. I love the Doxa yellow. I mean, the build is robust, it's big, it's beefy. These things, like I said in my other videos, I don't even take them off when I'm doing stuff. They just feel so solid. I just, you know, and again, I don't mean it to sound like other watches are not solid. That's not the case, but I don't know, something really beefy and robust about these watches where I just don't worry about them like at all, you know. So definitely check out all their stuff. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Drop me a comment, drop me an email. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend and take care.